Hey guys, today we're going to be making Blondie Brownies using garbanzo beans. And I love this recipe. These brownies are so delicious. And if you have somebody that does not like beans or just despises beans, won't try beans, they will not even be able to tell that beans are in this recipe. I have friends that hate beans, won't try beans, don't like them, and have zero idea that beans are even in this recipe. And I won't tell them because they probably will not eat them again because it's all in their head. So I want to share this recipe with you guys. I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees. So the ingredients that we have, we're just going to mix everything into a food processor. So you'll want to use a food processor, any kind, doesn't matter. And what you want is a can of garbanzo beans, chickpeas, and you want to rinse them completely before we add them in. So you just have 1 can of the garbanzo beans, and we're going to go ahead and put these directly into the food processor. And then the next thing we need is 3/4 cup of coconut sugar. And you can really use any sugar that you choose. I just like to use coconut sugar, but it's completely up to you. And then next we need 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. And we're just gonna mix that right inside. And then the next thing we're adding is 1/4 cup of just dry oats. And then to that, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of peanut butter, or you can use any nut butter. For this recipe, I've made it before with the Peanut Butter and Company. This is Dark Chocolate Dreams. This is one of my favorite peanut butters with this recipe, and I think this helps disguise the chickpeas. I'm not really sure. I think just using like a dark chocolate peanut butter just gives it that brownie color. But it's really good with this. You can use any nut butter, peanut butter, cashew butter. It's completely up to you, but that's the one that I'm using. And we just need 1/4 cup. And then the next ingredient is 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. So we're just gonna add 2 teaspoons to this. Okay, now we're just gonna put the lid on our food processor and we're gonna go ahead and mix everything together. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of chocolate chips and coconut to this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it all up. Okay, so our brownie base is all mixed together, if you can see that. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of unsweetened coconut. And I'm just gonna sprinkle that inside. And at this point, you can put 1/4 cup of dark chocolate chips in here, or you can save these and put them on top, or you can do both. If you want to add chocolate chips to your batter and then sprinkle them on top, it's just preference. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle 1/4 cup inside and then just lightly pulse this one more time. Okay, so next we have our baking dish, and you're just going to line it with parchment paper. Now I find that this part is easier to have it lined with parchment paper, and this is just for cutting purposes after it's baked and cooled. You can just pull the paper up and then bake your brownies. Yeah, cut your brownies. So it's just easier that way. If you want to line it, you don't have to. You can always spray your pan with a cooking spray. And then you'll want a spatula just to kind of smooth out the batter. It will be kind of lumpy, and that's fine. You can kind of just smooth it out with your spatula. So that's what we're going to do. We have our brownie base, and we're just going to go ahead and plop it in and then just kind of like smooth it out with your spatula. Okay, so this last part is optional, completely up to you if you want to sprinkle chocolate chips and more coconut on top. I just add coconut to everything. I love the taste of it. So for this part, I'm just going to sprinkle about a tablespoon of unsweetened coconut and then another tablespoon of dark chocolate chips. And for the top, I'm using the Lily's dark chocolate chips. They're sweetened with stevia. You can use dark chocolate, you can use milk chocolate, whatever you'd like. But I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle this on top, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25-30 minutes. I'm gonna check it as it's in the oven. Usually when I bake this, I pull it out. It won't look like it's really cooked all the way. It does cook as it's still cooling on the countertop, but it's just because of the beans and the dough base. That's how it kind of looks, like kind of lumpy, but it tastes delicious. So just 25-30 minutes. So this part, like I said, is optional. If you want to sprinkle this on top, it's really good with it if you add it. But if you don't want to, at this point, you can just bake your brownies, and that's it. Okay, our brownies are out of the oven, and I baked them for 26 minutes. I'm just gonna let these cool in the pan just off to the side for a little bit, and then I will go ahead and just take the paper, just pull it up out of the baking dish, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut it into bars. So I just want it to cool completely before I cut them, and then I'll go ahead and place them in a container. These are really, really good. I hope you guys try them out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys soon. Bye!